back. It's Community Conversations. I'm Miss Community Clovia, and here with me this morning, on this fine morning, is the mayor of the city of Richmond, Mayor L. Douglas Walter. Good morning.
Always good to be with you, Miss Clovia.
And we're here. We talked about the budget. We're going to talk about voter education and empowerment. But right now, let's get into the City of the Future project here in the city of Richmond. You're an exiting mayor.
Right.
Let's see. We're going to leave your legacy as far as the City of the Future plan and funding, and let's talk about millions of dollars and your accomplishments here in the city.
Glad you put this thing on.
In black and white.
In terms of City of the Future. We found $300 million. You know, people sort of take that for granted. You can't go to a city in America where someone tells you we found $300 million to spend. Somebody, the first question they're going to ask you is, whose taxes did you raise? Mm-hmm. Nobody. That $300 million is a line of credit. We even have members of council, one of whom is running for the mayor's position, saying, I don't know whether any of the money has ever been going any place. We have $113 million already in the mix. It's available in the pipeline, being directed in areas. $52 million for new and improved streets, sidewalks, curbs, and gutters that had been neglected for years. $20 million for major improvements to parks, community centers, and playgrounds. $9 million to provide state-of-the-art computers in every city library that we have. And $25 million on primary funding for the Carpenter Center as part of our new downtown performing arts complex, and $4 million to improve the landmark. So when you add that up and you recognize that we still have roughly $280 or $90 million left, I point out to you, Clovia, that even if that $300 million were gone, we could still get more. And how do you get it? All of these tax exemptions that we've given to corporations and businesses to locate in the city of Richmond. So you don't have to pay real estate tax, you don't have to pay utility tax, you have to pay. All of those things are abating. And so in the year 2012, we'll start getting money back to the tune of $10 to $12 to $14 million a year, excrementally. So it means it'll be going up to show how much more we can get. Now, in terms of getting that amount of money, it pays the debt service on monies that we could need for in the pipeline when we would apply. It's like a credit card, and all you do is pay the debt service on it, and the money's there. That's the money that I want to also build some schools with. If you would just close some schools so we can build. Somebody told me here in your studio this morning they want to put their kids in one of the schools. They were concerned because that school was not accredited. We were like, I want to have every school accredited. I want to have every school with modern facilities. I want to make certain that our neighborhoods are replete with vibrancy and people wanting to live there. I want affordable housing. I want the schools to be centers. I want the retail businesses to return to the neighborhoods. That's how you build a city, and that's why we called it the City of the Future. For example, economic development in downtown Richmond is stalled before 2005. Right.
And upon your taking office, this is after 2005.
Right.
Mayor Wilder brings in 2 Fortune 500 companies,
right.
Philip Morris and Mead Westvaco, creating approximately 1,500 new jobs in downtown Richmond.
All you got to do is just travel downtown, and you see a new face. You look at the old Standard drugstore at First and Broad. You see that whole block being renovated. You look across the street to see what is taking place with the Swatchstyles place. You look further down the street to Third, and you go there, and you also see something else. You remember when I had the people change the bus route so you wouldn't have 4,000 people being getting on that bus at one time or another, 400 buses coming up to right in front of the State Library. Mm-hmm. People congregating on the steps. All that's changed. Mm-hmm. And that people come out, they see it. A brand new state-of-the-art Hilton Hotel is going to be going up. It's going to be an absolute joy to see the things taking place there. This is all new.
All new.
Brand new.
And then when we started engaging into public safety, Commonwealth's Attorney's Office had a poor relationship with the city, leading to the dismissal of many cases. Before 2005. After 2005, City forged a close relationship with the Commonwealth Attorney's Office with 85 to 90% conviction rate.
Now listen to that. 85 to 90% conviction rate. The national rate is 60%. National rate of convictions. In other words, just this year alone, of the 20 capital cases that have been tried, the 20 cases that have been tried for serious crime, violent crime, there have been 20 convictions. 2 other cases have not been tried as of yet, but the prospects of the conviction appear to be very good, which means if you do the crime in Virginia and Richmond, if you do the crime, you're going to get the time. You're going to get that. Hasn't been the case.
So what's the difference?
The difference is
between then and now.
Now, did you not know that before Chief Monroe came here, there was not a separate homicide unit in the police department?
No.
None. In other words, if you did homicide, you might have to be doing traffic. You might have to be doing a burglary. You might have to be. You have to have a separate unit for homicide that deals strictly with the killing of
that from watching TV.
I was going to say, you can look at
the homicide unit.
Yeah. They did not have it. In addition to that, Richmond police officers had such a bad relationship with David Hicks, the prosecutor, that they wouldn't even bring their cases, the drug cases that they would have, to his office. They would take them to the federal court because they didn't believe that they would be vigorously prosecuted. They didn't have a good relationship. Now, you've heard Michael Herring speak so eloquently of the harmonious relationship that he and Rodney Monroe had. That's why I appointed Michael Herring to be a part of the search committee for the new police chief that we bring in, because he knows what we need.
Disabled citizens had no mass transit option to get the medical appointments and activities in Henrico County.
No money available
before
to them.
2005.
And it was being stalled every time it came to council. I put the money in and insisted that the money stay in for HVAC, for disabled and blind people to be able to get transported. They deserve it. They pay taxes too.
Vacant, decayed properties were found across the city, with citizens becoming frustrated because of neighborhood blight and public safety concerns. That was before 2005. After 2005, the city creates a vacant building registry of 3,200 unoccupied buildings so that code violations can be tracked and property owners are held responsible for their vacant buildings. And I remember reporting on that.
That 3,200 now is down to 1,800. 1,800 buildings that are vacant and unoccupied and in code violation. Oh, sorry, those 18, not code violation. That's in the inventory that we had. Now, they are being vigorously pursued, and Dahlberg has done a tremendous job in making certain that if you got a vacant building and it's not being fixed up and it's in code violation, you're going to either fix it up or we're going to fix it up for you at your expense.
Short, sweet, and simple to the point.
That's very simple. And that's what government should be. Short, simple, to the point. Not rigmarole, who's in charge. Benefit the taxpayers. Help them. Quit the arguing. Quit the bickering. Do some work. If I had to ask you, and I'm wondering, one day it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to have some people, and I know you've offered, and they've asked to come. Let the city council come on to your show and tell you what they have done in the last 4 years. And I can tell you what it's going to be. You just heard.
Those words expressed are the words of Richmond Mayor Doug Wilder and not Radio 1. I'm Miss Community Clovia. Thank you so much for joining me for Community Conversations.
Always.